making that move is what's gonna propel you to who you really want to be. Like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now, I made certain choices that I ended up living in the gym, my job, and I couldn't be mad at nobody. I couldn't be upset with nobody. I wasn't even sad. I was just disappointed in who I was becoming at that point in time. Like I made these choices to put myself in this predicament where I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just moved from, okay, back it up a little bit. So I was born in Connecticut, raised in North Carolina. And I lived in North Carolina at the time for 16 years, 17 years almost. And everything in me I just needed something new. I needed to move out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And I wanted to see the world. I wanted to be different. I wanted to be the man. And for me, I felt like I needed to move. I needed to explore. I needed to see different things. There were some choices I made. At the time, I didn't understand. But I ended up, long story short, homeless. Was gonna be homeless, but then I ended up finding a roommate and, lived there for a couple months, lost a couple jobs, not making the right choices, not furthering my education, settling for this bullshit mindset that I had. Ended up getting in a car accident the night before Thanksgiving 2023 and was concussed for 12 days. In the midst of those 12 days, I was gonna make a choice. I ended up not making that choice, but I had another alternative to move states. So I ended up moving from North Carolina back to Connecticut. In the midst of that, I had no real plan, so I had to find work, and I was struggling for a couple, 2 months to find a job. Found a job, worked there for a little bit, and the people that I was staying with ended up kicking me out. In the midst of that, I ended up living in the gym where I was working at. So they had like a cot upstairs, and so I do my shift and then go upstairs and sleep in the cot for a little bit, and but in the midst of that, I met my lady, and we've been together ever since. I was living with her people, and things didn't go out the way I anticipated. Things were good, things were bad, you go through certain things in relationships and stuff. But I felt like I had this dependency to depend on somebody again. And that's the main reason why I left North Carolina. I feel like I was trapped in this bubble. So me and my lady had a fitness competition in the beginning of 2025. In March, we had High Rocks in Houston. And flew from Connecticut to Houston, Texas. And I was just like, man, I don't want to leave. It was freaking 20-something degrees in Connecticut, and it was 80 degrees out here in Texas. And I was just like, man, I really don't want to leave. I need something new. This is where I feel like I can grow. My training style, and the people I want to be like, the people that can raise my vibration is out here. So on that day, before I left and flew back to Connecticut after the fitness competition, I was just like, yeah, this is where I want to be. I planted that seed, and I just started watering it ever since then. I was just grinding and working. Ultimately made the decision to move. And I just made the move, but there's so much more than just the move itself. It was the little things, the internal things that ultimately landed me here in Austin, Texas. Just watering that seed of becoming better and every day becoming better, you know, like it just takes the little disciplines they say, you know, like everybody just says discipline and consistency and all this other stuff, and that's real, but I feel like people don't understand it's more than just that. Like, man, like there's gonna be moments where you're not gonna wanna do this. You know, I'm doing cardio while recording this video right now, and there's gonna be moments where you're gonna question, why the hell am I doing this? What am I doing? Do I need everything? I don't have everything I need. And man, you know, trusting in the Most High, but also trusting yourself and how you develop that trust for yourself is saying I'm gonna do something and then doing it. And a lot of us don't keep that promise to ourselves, so when opportunities present itself, we can't really see it. We can't really see it because we're blinded by the BS that we put on ourselves and not keeping those promises to ourselves. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Make the move. You know, I developed this mindset, and I realized this when I was like 22. When I started this fitness journey, I was pretty overweight. I was 232 at my heaviest, and I lost 70 pounds in 6 months. And it was cool, but I developed this mindset. It wasn't just about the weight loss, it was about developing a strong mind. And every day, I realize it's not so much of what you obtain, it's what you want to learn. I learn along this journey because, you know, a lot of people, you know, as a kid, for me, you know, I was just brainwashed by, this is life. You know, you grow up struggling, you think you're just gonna struggle all the time, and it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but the light is us as people. We're the light. But it's like, what is the reflection of the light? Is it the BS? Or is it something really desirable? Is it something undeniable? And, you know, that's where it all started, was being better, man. It never mattered about fitness. And once I started getting in that mindset of, oh, it's about the body, and it's all about this, and it's about the females, and it's about, I found myself lost, genuinely lost, because it never was that. That's just a byproduct of what's internal, who you are internally. And the real question is, who are we becoming every day? You know, and fully submitting to the journey, man. It's really tough at times, and sometimes we're our own critic, our biggest critic. And I realize that we have to be on our own team. You have to be on your own squad in life. You know, like, we can't be against ourselves. We gotta be with ourselves, and understanding that at this point, this journey of life, it gets difficult, but at the same time, bro, it's worth it. It doesn't matter about the views. It doesn't matter about the club. It doesn't matter about whatever, any of the muscles, the females, none of that matters. It matters about how you feel about yourself. And that's the most important thing. If you feel like you're nothing, you gotta envision something that is something. You gotta see yourself being whatever. When I was overweight, I had to see myself with abs. I had to see myself with the big biceps. I had to see myself moving out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. You know, I had to visualize it and put it in the front of my brain and just relentlessly work towards it. And that's what I'm doing now. Putting all these visions and relentlessly working towards it, because at the end of the day, we all know that nobody's really gonna come and save us. We know that. So we have to be there for ourselves, bro. We have to be here for ourselves, bro, and just relentlessly working toward being better. And it's not always about the physical aspect, because it's all about the mental, because the mental is first. Internal is first, and then the external. Everything starts internally. So it's just like being mindful of what we're thinking, being mindful of what we're saying, being mindful of where we place ourselves energetically is very key. It's very key. It's very important, man. And every day, man, every day it's a struggle. Every day it's a grind. But submitting to the journey. Because at the end of the day, you know, for me, when I moved out here, it was like, oh, wow, I moved out here. But it was the journey to getting here. It was like, damn, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know. I don't see this. You know, it was the late nights, not getting any sleep. You know, I was working 16-hour days sometimes, 14-hour days, not working at all, getting fired, people saying I'm not good enough. That brought me to this point in life. And it's like we're just getting better and better and better every freaking day. And it's the work that people don't see. It's the work that people don't see that matters. It's the integrity that you have, brother. It's the integrity and accountability. These two words are more important than anything. Integrity and accountability. Because that's what makes discipline and consistency. It's the integrity that you have for yourself. The stuff that people don't see is what matters. Ain't nobody in here. It's just me. It's just me in here. And it's just like, I don't have to do this. I already did 40 minutes prior to what I'm doing now. Nobody sees that. And that's fine. Because it doesn't matter what people see, bro. It matters about who you are internally, what you keep telling yourself internally. And the work that you put in. The overnight success, it didn't start overnight. It started way before, bro. All that other stuff, bro, that people saying, it don't matter. You know, like I was telling a good friend of mine right now, a good buddy right now, I was telling him the other day, I said, bro, there's a group of people that think you're this great person, and there's a group of people that think you're not. I said, none of those opinions matter, bro. It matters about how you feel about yourself. It doesn't matter what people are saying, bro. It doesn't matter what people are doing, bro. What are you doing? If you're doing something that's undesirable, bro, you can make the choice today to fix it. Start small, bro. Start small, bro. Like, put the phone down, turn off corn, bro. Go for a walk. Do a push-up, bro. Read. Study that business. Start going to gyms, going to wherever you at, the grocery store, and start networking. Not the new year, new me type stuff, bro. Like, new year, new money. New year, new mindset. Like, everything starts internal, bro. And it's just like, the universe, God, is very giving, bro. Very giving. But you have to place yourself in those positions to receive the blessing, bro. If you don't place yourself in the position, bro, it doesn't matter, bro. It really doesn't. You're just on the sideline watching, bro. You're just on the sideline watching. And you don't want to do that, bro. We're not even the main character in our own lives, bro. You can't help yourself. You can't help nobody without helping yourself, bro. It matters about who you are, bro. Please, bro. Please, 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 please. If you don't catch nothing, do something for yourself, bro. Stop it. Just stop the BS. Move it out the way. Please move it out the way. We need it. We need it. We need men to lead this country. We already lead it, but you see how it's coming, bro. We need to be better, bro. And all that starts internally, bro. Who you are, bro. It doesn't matter about what they saying. It doesn't matter about the opportunities they took away. Go make your own, bro. Go make your own, bro. Pave your own path, bro. Pave your own path, bro. Please, bro. It's all up to you, bro. Like, it doesn't matter what they doing, bro. Like, they gonna do whatever they gonna do. But at the end of the day, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Are you becoming something desirable? Or are you becoming something undesirable? Like, what are we doing right now? What are we becoming, bro? Like, and just challenging yourself every day, bro. If you have these, we all have vices, bro. We all have vices, bro. And other than looking at it from just stopping it cold turkey, bro. Let me do 10 minutes without doing this. 5 minutes. Like, break it down, bro. That's how I do it, bro. Like, when I do workouts, let's say I do an hour of cardio. I played football growing up. You break it down to quarters, bro. You know? First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Like, break things down, bro. Like, you work a freaking job that you don't like, bro. Break it down to quarters, bro. Don't give up on yourself, man. All you got is yourself, bro. Before anybody believes in you, you gotta believe in yourself. All this boils down to self-belief, my guy. Self-belief, bro. Every day, you're painting that picture. Who are you painting, bro? Or did you just leave the pen down? You didn't even pick it up, bro. You gave up on yourself before you even had a chance, bro. No. We gotta fight, bro. And I know that there's times where you don't even know if you can. But you can, bro. You got an opportunity to breathe. So you got an opportunity to become better. You can pick yourself up from anything. From anything. You just have to make that one choice. You know exactly what to do. Exactly what to do. Are you gonna do it? Or are you gonna wait for somebody else to do it for you? Because you know that's not gonna happen. Place yourself in the right position. Place yourself to be better, bro. It doesn't matter about what you did. It matters about what you're doing now.